Okay, people, here we go. I have to say that I'm feeling great today. I'm really feeling great. But anyways, wanted to make a video because I'm not even sure how am I gonna name this video yet, but you know, I'm going to internet scrolling around and I keep seeing some posts on Reddit and elsewhere. Um, People find it hard to understand how come is this skinny guy so strong. Um, so that's one of the topics for today. And then another one, I guess it's all connected, but so let me just think loudly for a second. People really, when they see muscle these days, they really correlate it to power. But muscle is not the only thing which makes you powerful. And I feel like I'm somehow, maybe I am a bit lazy. I'm not working on the muscle as much as Yanis does, for example. Because yeah, I saw this other video somebody made, the pretty funny one. It was Oleg Cherkasov training hard for many years. Uh, um, Daniel Prokopchuk doing the same, and also Yanis Amorov doing the same. And then they all lose to this skinny guy who apparently is just talented, no hard work. Which is not fully true, but in a way, it might be a little bit, there might be some truth to it, because I'm pretty sure I'm training less than Yanis does, for example. I think Yanis is he spends a lot of time in the gym. He's really grinding out every single muscle. I don't think I have time to be that dedicated. I wouldn't be able to sacrifice my life for any sport, I guess. That's why I think arm wrestling is one of the better sports where you can still be relatively good without having to sacrifice many hours every single day. Because some other sports, that's what they require you to do for sure. Yeah, for example, we can take jiu-jitsu or even some kind of marathon running. You really have to spend quite a few hours per day. Maybe arm wrestling being so explosive, maybe that's what somehow by nature, since the competition is explosive, you just come in, destroy your arms in a few hours, and you're free to go. So in the same way, the training, you come in, let's say on Monday, stable session, 2 hours, and then you go rest for a week. So yeah, basically, I would never be able to spend as much time as Yanis does on gym training. But luckily, I feel like I don't have to do that because the sport is so much more about tendons and joints, connection. You almost don't need that much muscle to keep those parts connected and use your frame. And I feel like these days, many people somehow still cannot really understand that. So I guess I am in a way a good example that I don't think we should focus on so much on the muscle. But on the other hand, how do you train for arm wrestling when it seems like you just need many years of table sessions to just condition your elbows, shoulders, wrists, and everything else. Which is, by the way, another reason why the old people are doing so well in the sport. Feels like it's not like some other sport where a young guy can come in get some good skills in a few years and compete with the pro athletes super like kind of soon. You know, it doesn't matter how good you are in arm wrestling, you will need those 15 years most likely to reach the top, the very, very top. Almost feels like a minimum number of years, like 15 years, which I guess it's quite a normal. You cannot expect to be the best in any sport without really dedicating a big portion of your life to it. But yeah, so what was I saying at first? Yeah, some people are also thinking that I am on some kind of drugs, but most of the people are kind of realizing, yeah, the skinny guy, there's no way he's using something. So no, of course I'm clean. I never tried anything. And again, maybe that's also another reason why the people who are on drugs, at least in these lighter weight categories, they are not necessarily gaining that big of an advantage. Because again, the drugs will normally allow you to build muscle quickly, but and I'm sure some of them, of course, are improving your frame. But the drugs alone, you need that correct stimulation still over many years if you want to build that frame. So okay, point number one. Let's try to summarize. First of all, I'm not on drugs, so all of this is achievable naturally. But of course, I am paying a lot of attention to my diet, trying to make sure the hormones are really functioning well. So I'm quite lean and still able to build some muscle. But otherwise, I'm just spending years on the table, and I can feel how the structure is being getting more and more locked up. And you know, once you once you make your own perfect program, you know, recovery, sleeping, diet, and everything else, you kind of just have to repeat it, and it is super difficult for new people to catch you because for quite a few years you just keep getting stronger. The joints and tendons are just getting more and more rigid. And what are these new guys gonna do? It's really difficult for them to catch up. So I guess my plan is to just simply keep doing what I'm doing, and I think it will only get easier and easier as the time goes on. But yeah, the secret is in the joints and tendons and the time spent on the table. That's really what it is. Unless, you know, some people, they make a mistake and they never really eat correctly, and then they reach some kind of peak and they plateau. They cannot really keep going up anymore. I feel like that's the most common mistake. That's why somehow I am if I'm coaching people, I am always telling them how important the diet is, because I feel like that's something which people fail at. But yeah, in a way, like, I don't think it's fair to say that my results are based on pure talent only. I think I'm also spending quite a lot of time on the table and also here a little bit in the gym recovering, making sure I'm somehow healthy and the injuries are not bothering me too much. So it's not only talent, but at the same time, I'm also not spending as much time as, yeah, Daniel Prokopchuk, for example. I'm sure he spends much more time as well. Not sure about Cherkasov. Cherkasov is very genetically gifted. I think Prokopchuk is just a normal dude. Yanis Amanis is just a normal guy. But these guys are working like crazy their whole lives. And then Cherkasov is, I have to say, he must be somehow really gifted, because his frame is a bit it's different. The hands, the arms are very special. Meanwhile, he's still maintaining a very lean physique. So I'm not sure if he's working as hard as Yanis or Daniel, but yeah. So anyways, guys, I'll try to come up with a name for this video, and see you guys soon again. Feeling crazy strong today. Most likely we'll arm wrestle with Philip Larson today, so it's gonna be a fun training. Cheers. Ciao, ciao.